A small town there was an old school, shrouded in mysteries and legends. It was said that strange events occurred within its walls and students disappeared without a trace. One day, a small town there was an old school, shrouded in mysteries and legends. It was said that strange events occurred within its walls and students disappeared without a trace. One day, a new teacher, Mr. Smith, decided to conduct an investigation. He noticed strange scars on the walls, as if from a struggle, and heard whispers and moans when no one was around. One evening, while working in his classroom after school, he heard heavy breathing and felt a chill. Turning around, he saw a blurred silhouette standing at the door. Mr. Smith felt the hair on the back of his neck stand on end. The ghost's gaze was full of anger and suffering. It slowly approached the teacher, step by step, as if anticipating its revenge. However, suddenly, the room filled with bright light, and the figure disappeared. Mr. Smith realized that he had unraveled the school's secret. It was the ghost of a student who had died many years ago at the hands of his tormentor. After this incident, the school became calmer, and Mr. Smith became a hero among the students. But the legend of the school, full of secrets, lived on in people's hearts for a long time. Following that incident, Mr. Smith decided to conduct further investigations and found that many students at the school experienced feelings of fear and anxiety, especially in certain corners of the building. One day, during a history class, a student named Thomas began to tell a strange story about the school's past. He claimed that in recent times, a terrible event had indeed occurred. A student disappeared during a school excursion in the old basement, which had long been unused. The child's body was never found, and the basement was closed and forgotten. Mr. Smith realized that the school had a dark past that still influenced its inhabitants. He decided to investigate and uncover the school's past to shed light on the secrets that had remained hidden for many years. During his investigation, Mr. Smith discovered old archives and deciphered mysterious records indicating that strange events had indeed occurred in the school's basement. Perhaps it was the work of some cult or simply illegal activities, but one thing was certain: dark forces lurked in the depths of this school. Now Mr. Smith was faced with a choice: to leave the secrets of the past alone or to continue his investigation and expose the dark forces that could still threaten the school's students. Mr. Smith decided not to leave the mystery unsolved and continued his investigations. He began to talk to the local residents, asking about the school's past and the old basement. Some of them recalled with horror strange sounds coming from the basement, while others claimed to have seen shadows and heard whispers around the school. One day, while delving into the archives, Mr. Smith found old photographs depicting the school's students and teachers. Among them was a boy who had disappeared in the basement. He looked so much like one of his current students that Mr. Smith felt a shiver run down his spine. Deciding that the key to the mystery lay in the basement itself, Mr. Smith gathered a group of volunteers from among his bravest students and set out to explore the mysterious premises. In the darkness of the basement, they felt a strange presence, as if someone was watching them from the shadows. Suddenly, one of the students screamed and disappeared from sight. Panic gripped the group, but Mr. Smith ordered everyone to remain calm and continue the search. They continued to move deeper into the basement, following the faint light of their flashlights. Eventually, they discovered a secret chamber where old artifacts and records related to the school's dark past were found. It was a place where strange rituals and cult gatherings had once taken place. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the darkness, cloaked in a black mantle, and Mr. Smith realized that they were not alone in this basement. The figure stepped forward, scattering the floor with its black robes. All the students and Mr. Smith froze in horror, not knowing what to do. But Mr. Smith gathered all his remaining strength and stepped forward, ready to face this mysterious being head-on. The figure stopped and began to slowly turn around. The contours of a human figure emerged from under the cloak, and then Mr. Smith recognized the face. It was a student from the school who had disappeared in the basement many years ago. His eyes were full of bitterness and suffering, and his face was twisted with anger. Mr. Smith realized that the soul of this student had been trapped in this basement because of the dark rituals that had taken place here in the past. With the force of desperation, he began to speak to the spirit of the student, urging him to break free and find peace. At first, the spirit resisted, but then its expression changed, and understanding dawned in its eyes. It slowly disappeared, leaving behind only a faint trace of light. When Mr. Smith and his students returned to the surface, they felt tired but happy. They had unraveled the mystery of the school and helped free the soul of the student, who had suffered for many years. From now on, the school was no longer a place of fear and secrets but became a place where friendship and solidarity prevailed. And Mr. Smith realized that true heroes are not those who are afraid of the darkness but those who dare to pass through it and bring light into the world.